What if the steroid era never happened in Major League Baseball? Welcome into the first episode ever, the inaugural episode of the Tony Cutillo Show, where I'm going to team up with my man, Coach Dave, so we can look back at how baseball would look if the steroid era never happened. Yo, brother, it's been like, how long, man?
It's been a while. It's been a while. It was a lot of fun during COVID and all those times that we spent down here.
Look at that sign. All right, up there. Remember that sign?
The heat ratio.
Right? When we sat down here with folded tables.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It'd be you, John.
Yep.
And the wild card. The wild card.
Oh, yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, we had a lot of good times, man. But listen, I told you to start something new, and I couldn't help but say, if I'm going baseball, who's the guy I need on here, man? It just, everything went to you, brother.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I love the game, and I'm still involved in coaching young people, and I love every part of it. And I wish our Phillies had a better result than they did this year. But, baseball is, Moneyball. What's he say? What's not to be romantic? Why not be romantic about baseball? Or how's he say it? He said,
I forget, man.
Yeah,
but I like that.
How can you not be romantic about baseball? That's what Billy Beane said in Moneyball.
Hey, I'd be happy if someone just romantic towards me. How's that? In my old age, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you. We just want to be loved.
That's all. We just want to be loved. So Italian guys want to be loved.
Yeah.
It's simple. But listen, this is a topic that it's so many people have talked about, right? It's made its way, and it's the steroid era. And it's guys who may have gotten in the hole, guys didn't get in the hole.
Yeah.
But listen, me and you've had these conversations so many times, and just let's go right to the elephant in the room, and you talk about Barry Bonds. And we talk about our childhood. I mean, the years of the Barry Bonds era before steroids.
Barry Bonds was, or is, however you want to say it, in my opinion, the best baseball player that we have seen live.
I agree.
I say it that way. Now, we're in the era of Shohei Ohtani, who is the modern day Babe Ruth, but
crazy too.
Who we didn't see play, who I believe is the best, is Willie Mays. And just reading everything, Willie could do it all. Barry Bonds was that guy. I remember taking my nephew, Matthew, who, shout out to the Philly Police Force.
Protect and serve, baby.
Who went with me to the vet. Barry Bonds was playing for the Giants. I said, that guy right there is going to hit a home run today and steal a base. Guessing, and it wasn't really a far-fetched guess, right? Because it's Barry Bonds.
This is before sports betting.
Yeah. I'm teaching my, 10-year-old nephew.
Younger.
Yeah.
I love it.
And he did. And he did that day. And Barry, I got notes over here. You know how I do it, old school.
Oh, yeah, man.
Down. And some of the things he did, maybe I can start out with that, and we can discuss.
Because I think it's important, man. It's important because we are speaking to a lot of different people right now, and you have younger kids. I have younger kids. Well, they're not younger, right? They're getting to be adults. They are young adults, I would say. They don't know any of this, Dave.
They don't watch, and I know they're researched right at their fingertips with stuff, but they really don't do as much homework. Actually, I think that we did, because we would read the paper, we would read stats, and we would, you and I are discussing before we turned the show on about players and their numbers, what numbers they wear, what colleges they went to.
Yes.
And that stuff, for whatever reason, it mattered to us.
It did.
And it stuck in our brains. Like, I don't know what I did yesterday, but, I know, Barry Bonds wears number 25, but for the Pirates, he wore number 24. And
I think it does have to do with players too. The players that we idolize and look at. Like for me, obviously, I mean, look, you see the Jordan, right? So I know he was 23 and he was 45 when he came back, and he was 45. Like I remember that. I still remember my Aunt Mary's phone number when we would do consonants. It was CU8. I still remember the CU8, right? Yeah. But like you said, I don't remember what I did yesterday.
Yeah.
How we're wired.
Yeah. Yeah. It meant something to us, and it stayed there because, when you were around your boys, like these conversations, they mattered.
Yes.
But this is interesting. And, this isn't my stat. This is something that was I researched and it was fed to me. Barry Bonds, if he were stripped of his 7 MVP seasons, he still would have 440 home runs, 359 stolen bases. The interesting part about those numbers, no other player has those combined numbers. None, with stripping him of 7 seasons of his MVP.
Think about that.
He was a freak without the juice. I mean, he didn't need it.
He didn't, but his ego needed it.
Yeah. So when you contacted me and you said we were going to do this, obviously I did my research on things, and I forgot about the whole Balco thing and the names involved, and the alleged PEDs and all those things that the list of people that I have written down that were in it. I did not realize that pitchers were involved.
Yes.
We knew Roger Clemens, right? Well, he was the big guy, but Eric Gagne and a couple of these other names.
Andy Pettit, I think, was
Uncle
one of them.
Pettit, very good.
Right? Yep. Andy Pettit was one of them. And listen, man.
There's a list over here that I have written down. It's like unbelievable. And the Balco thing was something separate than the whole it was called the Miller or what was it called? The Mitchell Report.
The Mitchell Report.
It was called the Mitchell Report.
I do remember that.
And there's a list of 20 players on here. And the Balco thing is, like I said, that was something separate. But the Steroid Era, it's interesting how, because now they're talking about having a separate. Did you see that? I saw that today?
Like it's separate way that, like, now all of a sudden Clemens and Bonds are going to be eligible for a different wing or something like that.
They're talking about them being, and I'm not saying you're right or wrong.
No,
it's something that the regular sports writers don't get to vote on, and these other people are going to be in play that are going to cast a vote, and whether it matters or not, who knows?
But what's that tell you?
I think it tells you that baseball knew that they were doing it, and they put a lid on it because it was helping the game. The game was struggling.
Hell yes, but not just that. What I'm saying is, when you talked about, now all of a sudden the sports writers did not vote them in.
Yeah.
Now another group of people maybe. But what does that tell you? Does it tell you? Because for the longest time, I've always said, are we disconnected? Like as Major League Baseball with these writers, are they disconnected now? Like, do you think? I firmly believe that some of them are probably just holding a grudge. Maybe because Barry wasn't the nicest guy.
Oh, he was a creep,
right? We all know that.
Everybody says that he was, had his own lounge chair.
Yep.
And he was disrespectful human to a lot of people. They didn't care for him. Some of his teammates didn't care for him.
Jeff Kent didn't like him.
Remember that?
Yo,
in the dugout.
Whoa.
So
yes,
yeah, I think that being likable or not likable, obviously you're going to win somebody over or not. And the reporters have feelings; they're humans too. They shouldn't. They should go by numbers and stuff like that. But I think what you were touching on is that, are we missing something? Like, is there a disconnect? There definitely is, in my opinion. And I also believe that you look at two sides of this. There's two sides. You look at some of the people that speak on it that are closer to our age will tell you that the whole league was doing it.
Yes.
The whole, you listen to Mike Schmidt, and Mike Schmidt talks about his era, and they had amphetamines. He said they were in a bowl, like M&Ms or something were in there. And that's, so
it's crazy.
Mike Schmidt says that every era has their thing. Not exactly his words, but he talked about the amphetamine thing.
It's crazy to me, man. I still go back to, obviously, the race for the record, right? The McGuire Sosa thing. We come out of the lockout. It's obviously what's fueling the sport. And the guy, I continue to say it, the guy who allowed it to happen in Bud Selig, he's in the Hall of Fame. Right. So let's think about that. This dude is lining his pockets, and he's in the hall, but the guys that were helping him line his pockets, he's saying, nope, can't get in.
Yeah, it's like the puppet master. It's like
it's
our
so
politics,
crazy, man. It is so crazy. But But when you talk about the pitchers, that's what my argument always was. Isn't it like roids versus roids?
So you want to look at numbers with that. The two that are Clemens,
Yep.
And Barry, 7 MVPs for Barry Bonds. How about this? 7 Cy Youngs for Roger Clemens.
You know what? I'm so glad you said that, because that's another there's nobody even talks about Rocket. You notice that?
It's very disrespectful.
Nobody talks about him.
You ever hear Derek Jeter talk about him?
No.
He used to throw at Derek, right? When they were not on the same team, obviously. And he said,
love Derek.
He's the captain. And
bro.
He is another.
Go ahead. I'm talking why I love Derek.
Yeah.
Good.
He talks about the intimidation of Roger Clemens and him throwing inside and him saying, Roger Clemens is a big guy. And you're talking about the best, in my opinion, one of the best baseball players ever lived is and what ability wise and what he brought to a team is Jeter, and him talking about being intimidated by the Rocket. I'm like, this is pretty cool stuff.
It's nuts. I'll get to why I like Jeter in a minute, but it's nuts because whenever you have a roundtable discussion about pitchers, he's either not mentioned at all or one of the last guys.
Well,
and it's crazy. Like everybody talks about, obviously Nolan Ryan,
yeah,
right. Everybody they bring up Randy Johnson, which is another guy they don't really talk enough about.
That's my guy,
right? Love Randy Johnson.
Yeah.
When you say Rocket, they're like Rocket. Like how? Wait, how am I getting questioned when I say Rocket? You're asking me like you have no idea who Rocket is.
Who's Roger Clemens?
And part of me says because Roger wasn't a flashy guy,
yeah,
that he's kind of been shoved to the side because of the steroid thing.
100%.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because it's a part, but I love Jeter, man. Jeter he's like my idol. Like I think if I could be reincarnated, I want to come back as Derek Jeter because I want to be able to have the kind of game that Jeter had, that where he would bring a girl home.
We were going here
with the baskets.
I didn't know we were going
with the vacuum baskets. Bro, how awesome! Like what? That's major G game right there. Okay,
his checklist
is insane.
Yeah.
Like he don't even have a hall pass. He has a checklist. Yeah, we got hall passes, right? That we're never going to cash in.
No,
he's got a checklist of gorgeous women.
Yeah.
And it was understood. Phone by the door. Leave everything by the door.
Yeah.
There'll be a basket for you in the morning as you say goodbye.
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
That's power. And they still came
and they still came over. No pun intended. Yeah. They still came. No pun intended.
Yeah.
But I had to,
that's
man.
Beautiful.
Because that's a great story. Like that just shows how powerful he was. But yeah, you know what, man? That's when you're Derek Jeter, you're saying that you're intimidated by an opposing pitcher of Roger Clemens. He was a big boy, man.
Yeah, Roger.
Those broad shoulders, man. It looked like he was throwing a grape as a baseball.
Yeah, and I mean, again, I think more of our generation is like, dude, they were all doing it. Everybody was doing it. It's whether or not you got caught or not,
Yep.
And if Barry, and the question to me is, if he wasn't doing it, would you still consider him one of the best? Now, I know he broke rules or whatever, got caught. He never admitted to it.
I was just going to say that. He never did.
He never
still
admitted
to this day.
Yeah, he never admitted to it.
Still to this day.
But I don't know. It's so I would love to say I'm a baseball purist. And because my involvement with coaching youth, you gotta kind of have a stance like, oh man, you broke the rules, right? But you also understand that there was the greatness there too. And I don't want to sound like wavering back and forth. And I have a kid that's still playing baseball, and I would never want anybody to touch the stuff. But
it's a fine line.
It is. It comes down to your moral fiber and what you believe in and not believe in. And for me personally, I'm okay with knowing that he did what he did, and he would have been great. He would have been in the Hall of Fame, whether he did it or not. He's still going to go down, in my opinion, as one of the best players that ever played the game.
Yeah.
Does he need to be in the Hall of Fame? That's a question. Do you need to be in the Hall of Fame to be recognized as one of the greatest ever?
That's an interesting question.
Do you actually, I've been to the Baseball Hall of
Me
Fame.
too.
And it is pretty cool spot.
Greatest trip. One of the best trips I ever had.
Yeah, it was cool. The
I think
video,
I was 12 when I was there.
Yeah.
My dad.
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, that downtown area, the old time shops, and just everything about that whole experience was fantastic.
Yeah, I think if you're a sports guy and especially a baseball guy, you have to do it. But I don't know.
I mean, you look at let's table that for 1 second because it's a great conversation. But you talked about pre-steroid. Let's talk about the suspected steroid era, right? Because technically he didn't admit it, right? But we all know, right? But 9 seasons, he batted .314 up from .290. His on base percentage went from .411 to .517. Slugging percentage went from .556 to .712. His OPS goes from .967 to .1.229. Insane, right? 164 is OPS plus. It's league adjusted to .221. His home runs, .411 in 13 seasons, .351 in 9. Under the juice. RBIs 12, 16, 8, 10, 18 in 9 seasons. 733 runs scored, 1,128 walks, 71 stolen bases, and 4 MVP awards, 2001, 2, 3, and 4. It was such a spectacle to watch this guy. Like, we use these words, must see TV. And I think that kind of gets back to what you're saying. Like, do you need to be in a hall? Nobody's, it could be Shohei Ohtani, but nobody's ever been walked with the bases loaded. And then Skipper has brought in a run. They were that, they were that. I don't know who that was. Was that Buck Showalter?
It might have been.
It was somebody. Yeah, like it was. I forget who it was. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
but it was to the fact. See, I look at McGuire and Sosa as a novelty act. They were a novelty act when they were going through that. They were, but Barry Bonds was everything stopped to watch Barry Bonds at bat.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because it was absolutely amazing. You talked about bases loaded walk. Those numbers that you just said. Now, I know for the people that are listening to us that aren't into numbers and baseball numbers, he was barely pitched to.
I know.
So in his at-bats, those numbers that he produced, power numbers, slugging percentage, home runs, he might have seen 1 pitch out of 4 at-bats in the strike zone. So his ability, this is why, now we talked about this off air, but his father, Bobby, was a tremendous baseball student.
Hard as hell.
And hard on Barry. And I don't know if people notice or not, the baseball people will, but Barry's godfather was one only.
Say, hey, kid.
Willie Mays, who, his pedigree and the people around him made him this machine of a hitter. And he was must-see TV, like you said. Like it, I don't know. Shohei is great, but I don't. If you had a choice, if you told me I had a choice between hitters right now, and I do. This is the thing I do.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. I'm ready.
We got 2 players to pick from, hitting only. Bonds, Ohtani. Who are you taking?
And we're talking clean. This is clean Bonds. Right?
I don't care if it's steroids or not. It's just Barry Bonds. I don't care.
Well, all right. Do we add the pitching element in?
No, just hitting.
Just hitting.
Yeah, who are you taking?
I'm taking Bonds.
Yeah, me too.
I'm taking Bonds.
Yes,
absolutely. Now some people may say, that's because you guys are old guys and you watch Bonds. I don't think so.
Yeah, no. I mean,
you're talking about a 5-tool player.
Yes. He hit power. I know Ohtani hits average too. This guy hit for all of it as well. And Ohtani can run too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just your preference, I guess, but
8 gold gloves for Bonds as well.
Yeah,
let's throw that in there.
He was phenomenal.
He wasn't, you didn't have to hide him.
No. And he had a rifle.
Gun.
Yeah.
Cannon.
Yeah. So you can't go wrong, Ohtani or Bonds, but for my liking, if I had one at bat and it was to win the World Series, I'm going with Barry Bonds.
I like that. So the whole premise of this program is sports talk on replay, right? Debates that never die. So if you're watching this on replay, hit us up in the comments. Is it Ohtani or Bonds? We want to know Ohtani or Bonds. So because that conversation, Dave, I think will continue to go on. Now you talked about Barry. You know, does he need to be in the Hall? Let's go another route here and pretend. Say there was no steroid era. Say there was no injuries. Who's the true home run king? Who do you think the true home run king would be today? And the reason why I asked that is because of Ken Griffey Jr.
I know you like Griffey, I love Ken Griffey Jr., but stats say that it would be Henry Aaron.
Well, I'm saying, and that's the thing. Say, because Bonds did so, say there's no roids. Yeah. And, it doesn't, who would be the home run king, out of those two guys, out of people before Henry Aaron, like the people during these eras?
Well, I mean, Griffey's a great choice.
Who doesn't get, if he didn't get injured?
Yeah, if he didn't get injured. The guy that's up there that is clean is Albert Pujols.
Hey, Albert Pujols.
And
are we sure he's clean?
No, we're not sure.
Are we sure Griffey's clean?
I would say yeah.
Because I've seen, and again, and I'm not trying to be controversial, but one of the biggest, what you call signs of guys on a lot of those PEDs was their body breaking down. And he, like, all of a sudden, I mean, he was consistently injured.
Yeah.
Now, some people might say, nah, it's not those kind of injuries. I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know. But all I know is that swing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you talk about must-see TV, must-see swing.
Yeah.
And he played in Seattle, stunk for so many years.
Yeah. He made him a contender.
Yes.
Listen, Griffey is so, again, going back to coaching youth players, you want to idolize somebody. You want to talk about how you present yourself, even though the purists didn't like that he had the hat on backwards and stuff like that. But you got to give it a rest a little bit. You have to show that you're not so rigid, right?
Yes.
And Griffey's swing and his play and his athleticism and the way he carried himself, he just was a awesome guy.
Yep.
To say, listen, youngster, you want to idolize a player, this is the guy.
Now, think about how much of a different scenario it is, right? You got two guys in Barry Bonds Sr. and Ken Griffey Sr. Hard on their kids.
Yeah.
Griffey is the model citizen.
Yes.
Bonds, complete opposite, right?
Yeah.
Like, in that perspective, it's like even now his interviews, like, I think it's his daughter is Barry Bonds' daughter is like his publicist and his gatekeeper. Like, she books his interviews.
Mm-hmm.
She trains him. What, Dad? No, you can't say that.
Yeah.
Dad, no, we're not talking about that.
Yeah.
Kind of like Belichick's girlfriend. Ooh. Right? But
what a weirdo.
Yeah, that's an episode for another day. Because that situation that's got a lot of legs, in my opinion. It really does. It really does. But I want to get back to the Albert Pujols thing, because we lived in a time where we had Pujols versus Ryan Howard for those 6 or 7 years. Howard never made an All-Star game because he was blocked by Albert Pujols. Now, would you say Howard's clean?
Ryan Howard?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And to think about that 5 to 6, 7 year period that he put on.
Oh, yeah.
Think about if he stays healthy.
Yeah.
Think about if he's not brought up till 25.
Yeah. If
he's not blocked by Jim Thome.
If we didn't bring Jim Thome on, like, that's a management decision that no one understood. Well, why wouldn't you get another position?
I did understand. So
for star power.
So for everybody that's listening to this program, that we are obviously based in Philadelphia, so we have a lot of credence when it comes to this topic. Remember, they were building Citizens Bank Park, and they needed that star power.
Yeah.
So they went after. I still can't believe they gave all that money to David Bell. Remember David Bell?
Yes.
Ton of money to David Bell, but they went after Tom Glavine. He didn't sign here, right? But they wanted to throw. But they needed Jim Thome. Jim Thome was the Philadelphia prodigal son. He met with the unions. He met. Yeah. I mean, he was the guy. It was. Remember, he was crying. He didn't want to leave Cleveland, but this was his shot at a paycheck, and it just happened that he was so good.
Yeah.
And Ryan Howard, I don't think they knew he was going to be that good.
Yeah.
And then I think it was it 20? I think it was 25. Remember, they didn't bring him up till he was 25 years old when they brought him up.
Yeah.
So the reason why I talk about that is, what if Ryan Howard comes up at 22, never blows his Achilles out?
Yeah.
Where do you think he ends up on that list?
Well, that 3-year stretch, the only other player that did that at that time was Babe Ruth. Had
insane
his numbers. Ryan Howard we're speaking about. Yeah.
Insane.
Howard was must see TV too.
Yes, he was.
That whole lineup, that offense was, I mean, the reason why they won World Series.
Yep.
It wasn't pitching.
No. They had one pitcher in Cole Hamels.
And Brad Lidge was 54-0. He was 54 for
and that bullpen. That bridge the Lidge.
JC Romero,
Ryan Madsen. Yep. You even had old time Chad Durbin's an unsung hero that whole year, because that dude, he did everything for that team.
Yeah, he came in when needed,
everything,
and put out a fire.
But that's why I think these conversations are important, because how many people knew that 3-4 year period of Ryan Howard?
Yeah,
not a lot.
Yeah,
not a lot.
Only the weirdos like us,
right? But you know what though? Because we actually watched the games. Now everybody sits on highlights, which I get it, right? That's fine, but you don't really see the entire landscape of the game, right? Like when I say I'll start conversations, you'll know what this term means, and I'll say, "Yeah, man, pitch to black." Everybody goes, "Pitch to black." I'm like, "Yeah, you do know the black parts of home plate." Like that's where guys like Oral Scherzer or Hershiser, Greg Maddux made a living, right?
Yeah.
So listen, I love these conversations. Now, talking about back to the home runs, and you talked about Albert Pujols. So we've already named some names of Pujols. We already named, but how about even we mentioned Jim Thome? Jim Thome's on the 500 home run list.
Yeah.
And Charlie Manuel guy, right? He's a Charlie Manuel guy. But if I'm not mistaken, it took him a couple years to take off.
Yeah.
So you're thinking, like, here's a guy that clean guy in that era. Like, so that's the thing. Again, we asked the question, what if the steroid era never happened?
Yeah.
Like, we would be talking more, I think, about these guys than the actual steroid guys, whether they admitted to it or not.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's great conversation. You take that steroid era, and let's just say you unplug in the top 10, you unplug those 3 guys because they're in it.
Yes.
Well, the one that wasn't mentioned that's in it is you have Bonds, A-Rod.
That's another conversation.
And then you have Sosa, I believe, is in the top 10.
Let me ask you, and this is where the conversation gets very interesting. Both of those guys, A-Rod and Sosa, especially Sosa. Now, let's just look at Sammy Sosa. Sosa without the roids, Bonds without the roids.
Yeah, I'm taking Bonds.
Right.
Sosa's an average player.
Exactly. So he's the guy that was 100% elevated.
Yes.
Now, what about A-Rod?
A-Rod was another phenomenal baseball player. Freak.
Yep.
Size.
Yep.
Not necessarily the speed, but he could play shortstop at a very big man.
Yep.
And he could hit for power, and he could hit for average too. A-Rod did not need to be on steroids, and he would have flat out been a Hall of Famer, no questions asked.
I agree.
And his
defense, Hall of Fame women resume too, by the way.
Another one.
Yeah, just throwing it out there.
Yeah, his checklist is.
You never know where we go here, man. You know what I'm saying? But
no,
definitely. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, you asked, and A-Rod, good example. Sosa, absolutely, it put him to a different plateau. A-Rod didn't need it. Bonds didn't need it.
Nope.
Clemens didn't need it. Now the other question, how about Mark McGwire? Probably would have been a Hall of Famer.
I think he still would have been a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
He was the guy though that you were like, all right, this dude looks like Optimus Prime on the baseball. Like, hello, like you're talking about Beetlejuice, like small head, huge body. Like this was obvious. I know people talk about Bonds, but I Bonds to me though always was he was getting bigger and bigger anyway. But McGwire. My God, it
Oh,
looked like he was swinging a twig.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
His brother was an NFL football player, quarterback.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. And they're big humans. Like
I didn't know that.
family. Yeah. I think his brother, if we looked it up, he was drafted by the Seahawks quarterback. But
Interesting.
yeah, they're big humans. I remember seeing Mark McGuire in his USA baseball card, and I'm like, holy Christ, that guy's looks
He
like a
was-
redwood.
All I remember is his because I was a card collector back then.
Mhm.
It was I think it was the 86 Topps update, and it was the USA card.
Yeah.
That was his actual rookie card.
Yeah, yeah.
And everybody thought they had the real rookie card was the fake card with
Mhm.
the 86 Topps with the wood grain around it. And he was with the Oakland A's uniform,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But yeah, man, now there's a whole list of players too, I think, that need their money back. That I think took some of the roids and it just didn't work. I mean,
Some are on the Phillies.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, you talk about the Phillies. I mean, that '93 team. I mean, that was roid heaven.
What weren't they on?
Like, who wasn't on roids on that
Yeah,
team?
yeah. Dykstra definitely was.
Stalker, maybe?
Yeah,
I don't even know.
yeah. Well, Dave Hollins, Dalton. I don't think Inky was. He was a big guy. Maybe he was. Maybe he
I think
wasn't.
he was, man.
Yeah.
How about Wes Chamberlain?
West, another big
Yeah.
boy.
I
Wes
know
Chamberlain.
Kruk wasn't.
Definitely not.
Nah,
no, he
nah.
was more like the Babe Ruth diet.
Yeah.
He was, hot dogs and cigarettes and Budweiser.
You know, I get a kick out of him in the booth too when they bring him the food. He's and I get to laugh my ass off at that, man.
He's hilarious.
Yeah, he is fantastic. Yeah. If you're watching the national audience, if you've not listened to John Kruk call game, you have to listen to John Kruk call game. Now, talk about the culture before we do a little bait and switch here for you. I'm going to put you on the spot, but talk about how the culture shifted, how it would shift without that that home run boom. What you think the game would have still been saved?
Well, that's a great question. You just spun it a little different.
Yeah, that's what I was.
For him, because you sent me the notes and I wrote a bunch of stuff down about what I believe would have happened if the steroid.
I want to get to that too. Yeah,
but say again what you just asked. What was the spin?
So basically, culture without the home run boom. That race for the record was the lockout. I think was like 94, 95.
Yeah.
Right. And so when they come back and they needed that, remember, baseball was dead.
Yeah.
Nobody was showing up.
Yeah.
No. So obviously we would still be, relevant, but do you think it would have had, I mean, obviously would have had a much harder time, but do you think it would have ever grew and exploded the way it did? Because that really, people were really pissed off.
Yeah. No, I don't. I think you would have more of a game of balance. You would have more of a game that the purists, I would say, believe in. It would be doubles and singles. You would be relying on speed, stolen bases. I believe development in players would be more of a stronger thing that's needed.
That's a good point.
Not relying on the long ball. Think about our Phillies team, and honestly, it's the way that MLB is right now. You have the launch angle and producing all these. They don't even care if they strike out as long as they hit the ball hard off the bat. And I think that steroid era was obvious to me. It's obvious the spark of the long ball is a necessity to keep this game going in the direction that we want.
Yes.
That they want.
Yeah. Just like football, where, they changed the whole, I mean, you can't be a cornerback in football. That's what makes guys like Quinyon Mitchell so amazing about what he does, because, the 5-yard rule was nobody wants to see sure pay. They want the long ball. Yeah. So how do you get the long ball? You're not allowed to touch the receiver.
Nope.
It's a go route, right?
Yeah.
So it's all predicated on that. 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Now you say you had notes. So let's get in it, because you worked hard, and I know you are a note. I love it. This is the Catholic school upbringing, by the way. Are they printed or do you have little handwriting action there?
They're all handwritten.
Oh, see, look at that penmanship. Remember the penmanship books?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm still bad on the cues. But
So your question, I broke down the question.
yeah,
How would the game be different
Yep.
without the power surge? Is basically my Cliff Note version of your question. And I wrote basically what we just talked about: a more balanced contact hitting, speed, bunting, base running, singles, doubles hitters. Examples: Tony Gwynn style players,
ooh,
Ken Griffey Jr. style players, manufactured runs, not waiting for the long ball, and more focus on player development.
I love it.
So that's my 51-year-old brain telling me that if we didn't concentrate on the long ball and didn't have that power surge, I think the game would, that's where it would be.
So I want to stop you for a second, because this is where I want to give you your flowers, and I want you to allow yourself to give you your own flowers, because I just want to let everybody know, like, I this is Coach Dave because he is a coach, okay? And it's not, we are fans, obviously, but I brought Dave on because he knows the game. So I just want to let everybody know, what's your background as a coach? Let everybody know, man, as a coach. How long you been coaching?
30 years now.
Baseball. I mean, everybody, let's base 30 years.
I started out as a football coach.
Okay.
I coached high school football at Cardinal Doherty, and my last stop was LaSalle as a freshman coach. Joe Callister, the old head coach here, gave me a shot after I left Doherty, and then my oldest son was born, and that was 22 years ago. And my wife, my lovely bride, said, "Coaching's done for you for now." and she was right. She was right. I got back into it. And my son, I played baseball in high school. I played football. Actually, my freshman year at Cardinal Doherty, I played freshman basketball, baseball, and football.
That was when you were allowed to play multiple sports.
Yes. And I did not realize that I was 5'10" with high heels, and Ellison Devane, shout out to Ellison, was the same size as me, and he was dribbling and doing all this stuff and then dunking the basketball at the same time.
And you were like,
yeah, this is not
might not be my sport.
I'm going to probably shift gears. But baseball, I got to play for a legendary coach at Philadelphia Community College, Larry Conti. And I was
whoa, hold on. You played for Larry Conti?
Yes, I did. He was our head coach.
So I went to North Catholic.
He was a teacher at North.
Yes, he was. And he taught me business law, and he taught me finance.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, there's no FCC rules here.
Okay.
But do you know what his nickname was?
I think I do.
It was Larry Big Conti.
Yeah.
And supposedly he had a hammer.
Yeah, that was the story.
So Larry, I'm not saying if you knew, but
Larry, if you're out there listening, I don't know anything about that. I never seen it. Thank God.
All I know is, Larry, you are a legend for your package, supposedly.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna throw out there. But that's funny. I'm like, Larry Conti.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he's throughout the baseball community in our area, he is
I didn't know
a
that.
legend.
I had no idea.
I was also coached by an awesome coach at Cheltenham, was a travel ball team. They didn't have AAU stuff when I was there.
Right.
And I got to play for Mike Walsh. Mike Walsh coached with Larry Conti and Joe Parisi, all at North Catholic, all at your alma mater.
Okay.
Joe Parisi went on to be the head coach at LaSalle. Mike Walsh did his own thing. And then Larry continued to coach and then moved up. And I loved baseball. And I got into coaching baseball after coaching football when my kid DJ was 4 years old.
Wow.
And I know a lot of people in the game, and I had a lot of help growing up, and I mean growing up in coaching baseball. And I've been doing it. I got to coach high school ball, which I was very proud of, and American Legion ball, which I was very proud of, and travel teams, and now I dabble in some AAU stuff. Luckily with Thoroughbred, for a local program, and Boilermakers, another local program. I'm very fortunate. I get to do it now with DJ. We help
awesome.
We help young people in our garage. We do hitting stuff, and it's our little dirty old garage, got a mat and a tee and a net, and we have young people and older people, all age groups. College kids come in and hit, and it's fun. I love it.
I love it, man. I want you to explain that because you have a historic resume when it comes to coaching, right? I mean, you do, and I think that much too often, and it's not to discredit anybody, but much too often there's people talking about things they really have no knowledge about. They just don't. And they're whatever Chat GPT says or whatever Google says or whatever they heard somebody say. Like I want people that actually know what the hell they're talking about. And you are that guy for me. Sir.
Well, I appreciate that. And I've since we've known each other, we've coached together our kids when they were
Isn't that crazy?
Big. Yeah. I've always had an opinion, and that's all. And that's honestly, Tony, that's all I've ever looked at it. Now, it might come across a little different or a little bit more aggressive or whatever to some folks, but all it is coming from me is in my brain how I see it, and my experiences have allowed me to gather data that forges this opinion.
Yes.
So, it's not just something, and I like to think that I sit back and I listen. I think I'm an excellent listener, and
that's important.
And I learn.
Yep.
And especially learning stuff that I love. The art of hitting is absolutely the funnest thing for me to talk about. And there's so many different parts of it, and we do very little part in our garage. And what I try to talk about is your approach, and we hit off a tee and the different levels, the different zones you attack, and it's amazing. It's amazing.
That's why you make a good point. Before we get to when I put you on the spot, you talk about how to attack, and you talked about earlier to go bring us full circle, Barry Bonds, and how amazing of a hitter he was, and you mentioned about how he saw so many less pitches than the normal player.
Yeah.
And it makes you think, as this conversation comes full circle, I say, roids, not roids, that's something that you just can't stumble upon.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes him even that much better. And even with, and I've always said this, and you let me know what you think, but I've always said, yeah, he may have been on roids.
Mm-hmm.
And it may have helped his hand-eye coordination. It may have helped his speed about the snap, but it didn't do anything for the mentality of the game to play that cat and mouse game with the pitcher, to know what pitch is coming, where it's going to be located. So I look at that and I go, you know what? I don't think guys like Sammy Sosa had that.
No,
they were just power maulers.
Yeah,
but Barry Bonds was the consummate pro when it comes to the art of hitting.
You're 100% accurate. Again, my opinion, Barry Bonds made hitting like sophisticated. He has a video. If you guys are interested in what we're talking about, I challenge you to look up the conversation. Barry is being interviewed. I don't know by who, and he's sitting down and he has the tablet in front of him, and it's an at-bat against Greg Maddux. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I watched it.
And now in the
split
screen,
yep,
Greg Maddux is talking about the at-bat. And at one point in the conversation, like it's the third or fourth pitch, Barry Bonds says this out loud. He knows I got him. The confidence. He knew what he was going to throw. Maddux tried to throw it, and the conversation is split screen. No one knows what the other one is talking about.
Yep.
And they're replaying it, and Barry is like, he knows I got him. And Maddux, who, in my opinion, there's only two pitchers that you want in the last game. My opinion, Randy Johnson or Greg Maddux.
Greg Maddux.
So,
God.
Yeah, Greg Maddux.
Can't wait till we have a pitching episode, bro. I'll get goosebumps talking about pitchers.
Greg Maddux throws the pitch. Barry sends it out of the yard. Home run.
I remember watching that, and I was like dumbfounded.
He breaks down hitting, and the videos I watch. He talks about, I don't understand. He said, you throw it as hard as you want. I'm hitting it. He said, you have a catcher behind the plate catching it. All I'm doing is changing the object. I'm catching it with my bat. I'm like, what? What's he talking about?
Fascinating, man. And that's why I say when we have these conversations, it's like we could talk about roids all we want, but that has nothing to do with steroids.
Yeah, he was
zero.
He was an alien. He was so special, and that's the upsetting part about why, as a fan and as somebody that loves the game like I do, he did what he did, and that's the upsetting part. That's the disappointing part because he didn't need to.
He didn't,
and he was great without all that. His God-given ability and his ability to process pitchers and how his swing was like textbook, so sound, muscle memory on every pitch. He choked up on the bat a little bit. His balance, his footwork, and his approach. What he did not chase pitches. He made you throw to him.
He did.
There's no chasing. It's not like Castellanos slider out of the zone and I'm just going to chase your chase rate.
Exactly.
I wish that we could go back and go to Barry Bonds' chase rate. Like you see all the, the numbers.
You see all the big lofty, glowy numbers, but you don't see stuff like that.
No, that for hitting, that's amazing. And he was just special. It's an understatement.
I'm glad that he's back in the game now.
Yeah.
Because remember, he was out of the game for so long. Now he's back coaching.
Yeah.
Because he can drop that kind of knowledge.
Yeah.
Right. And I think it's all out in the open. These players know what he did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They know what he did.
Yeah.
However, I think the positive could be, like you said, as a coach, you have the obligation, you're coaching young kids, and it's like, okay, he knows what he did, but listen to this guy. Just his education. Listen to his mom. Don't worry about the balls he hit. Listen to him break down at bats and pitchers and fundamentals. And that's where you see the true Barry Bonds.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. Now, I'm gonna tell you this, man. We're gonna have some fun right now.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have some fun. So everybody doesn't know my nickname is Jigsaw. So we're gonna name this spotlight on every episode called Jigsaw's Final Cut. Okay, you're gonna have 2 stars to debate, and literally is going to be player A or player B, but only one makes the final cut. Now Dave has no idea. I did not give you these names. I did not give you this list.
No, you did not.
And I'm sure there's going to be a little summarization of why, and maybe we'll even get him as a pause and say, you know what, I don't know. Maybe I'll stumble. We shall see. But you ready, man?
I'm ready. It's exciting.
All right. So first off the bat, we've already talked about these 2 names. This is the OG home run chaos battle. Perfect final cut matchup. You go on Mark McGwire or Sammy Sosa?
Man.
Yeah, see?
I'm going to go McGwire.
I like that. Now, how about pure greatness versus pure longevity? And pure greatness would be Ken Griffey Jr. Longevity would be Albert Pujols.
I can't not take Albert.
King Albert.
Yeah, I can't not take
King Albert.
I seen him hit too many balls in pressure situations when it mattered most.
Now, there's another guy with the plantar fasciitis. He could barely even walk.
Yeah.
And he was still out there.
Yeah. Hitting bombs.
I mean,
and another one that hit for average.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
He was hitting 300. I think he won a couple batting titles, didn't he?
Or
he came really close.
Yeah. His average was always up. He could do it all.
Yeah, he was
phenomenal first baseman too.
Wow, he was.
Yeah.
He was. I mean, and he signed that big money deal with the Angels.
Yeah.
But look, you can't fall. Like I always say, like everyone's like, how can he do that? Bro, like if they came to your job right now and they offered you quadruple, you say no?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I'm good. People
no one says that.
Nobody. All right, this is gonna be a good one. These are 2 names we haven't even mentioned. Okay, Manny Ramirez or David Ortiz and Big Papi.
Oh man, that's
right.
One.
2 big Red Sox killers.
Yeah, and Manny,
another underrated guy nobody talks about. Man,
don't know what Manny did and the type of hitter Manny was,
and a lot of that was because they just didn't like him as a person.
Yeah, he was another aloof type of player.
Yep.
I love Manny, but I mean, Big Papi hit way too many important shots, and not that Manny is close. I'm going Big Papi.
I think I agree with you, man. I think people don't realize that Big Papi carried that historic franchise for a while out there in Boston.
Yeah, he carried the team.
Yeah, he did.
Similar, not as often as we would have liked, but similar to Ryan Howard.
Yeah.
Ryan Howard was
Yes.
his bat was able to carry a team, and Big Papi was that guy for a while.
Yes. Yes. For
Similar
a
to
while.
Albert.
Now he had a funny thing about Ortiz. You remember where he had the interesting urine test? Remember that?
No, I forget that.
Yeah, there's a story about that. So supposedly, he had a urine test that came up. He got popped. But then there was something. It's a story all about. I don't want to discredit anybody. So it came out to be false. But at the time, it was like, holy shit! Like everybody, and he went through hell trying to put back credit on it.
I do remember that. So it was all part of the PED.
Yes,
he was in the he got thrown right into the mix.
Yes.
With everybody else, and he was like,
yeah, it was me, and it wasn't. So good for him.
Yeah,
for it not being him.
Yeah.
Now these two guys, I think I know we're going to go on this one, okay? Because we talked about both these guys, but talent versus leadership, numbers versus rings. We go with A-Rod or Derek Jeter.
It's
a Jeter all day,
that's a
right?
Layup for me. That's Jeter. All day.
You got to go Jeter.
Yeah,
got to go Jeter.
Yep.
Now here's two names: Jeff Bagwell or Jim Thome.
Oh man, I was big Jeff Bagwell guy.
Now there's a guy, little is he clean or is he not?
No, he is not clean.
Him and Ken Caminetti, I think we're hanging out on the weekends, bro.
Ken Caminetti is in my list. He's one of the players.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's all those San Diego, San Francisco contingency. That's that all Balco thing.
Yes, yes.
I'm going Thome.
Yeah, I think you have to.
Yeah,
I think you take his off the field resume and his leadership, and
probably the Philly thing, too, a little bit. But Thome is a class act and still giving back to the game.
Still giving back.
Yeah,
still giving back.
I'm going Jim Thome.
Now here's one of these guys you mentioned. We're gonna pull up another guy. We're gonna call this who was the real menace at the plate, Sammy Sosa or Albert Joey Bell.
Albert Bell.
Remember, Al? You talk about the stiffest stance in the world, Albert Bell.
You have to YouTube this one.
Okay,
I know you know it. I'm shocked if you didn't. Albert got hit by a pitch in a game, and told the umpire, "I'm not taking my base." You have to watch it on YouTube.
Did he really?
Yeah. He took the bait. They forced him. He's like, "No, I didn't get hit." Everybody, he got plunked, dude. Yeah. He got plunked, and he looks at the pitcher, looks at the umpires, like, shakes his head.
He was a monster.
Albert Bell, his time in Cleveland there in the beginning, and then he went to Baltimore, if I'm not mistaken.
We go Baltimore or the White Sox?
Maybe it was. I forget.
We'll have to look that up. I'm not sure.
Maybe both.
Yeah, he might. He did play for a few franchises.
I believe it was not. It was his uniform. I'm picturing in my head was. It might have been the White Sox, but it was not. It wasn't with Cleveland when this happened.
Okay.
So he gets hit with the pitch.
Wow.
And he tells you, "I'm not taking my base."
Yeah, he was like, I still want another at bat. I want the at bat.
Yeah. I'm not taking the walk.
He's crazy. All right. Who terrified pitchers more, Manny Ramirez or Vladimir Guerrero Sr.?
Manny Ramirez or Vlad?
Yeah. I know. You talk about another guy.
I'm gonna. Vladdy was awesome. Wow. But I'm gonna give Manny.
Go Manny?
I have to. I have to there.
Okay.
I have to because Manny played in. Unfortunately for Vlad, he didn't make it to, and you didn't get to see him on a big stage.
I know that sucks. I hate that.
Yeah, but what we watched Manny Ramirez do when the lights got big. Those two, I'm taking Manny.
You just said that because a lot of these questions, which I love, is when the lights got big. Like, who are the guys that perform on the big stage?
Yeah,
man? I love it.
Yeah.
Here you go. Here's a fun one. We're gonna call this PED's admissions versus PED denial. Jason Giambi versus Ryan Braun.
Well, Giambi's in my list.
Oh yeah, you think? Both of them, him and his brother.
And Braun, he had hell of the years for
Milwaukee,
for the Brewers.
But he was in that denial.
Yeah.
He never did it.
Yeah, I'm taking Giambi.
I think I would say I think I hate to. I don't want to sound like, but I think Braun was kind of like a tool. So he wasn't a nice dude.
Yeah,
from what I understood.
Giambi was a nut that you loved. Yeah.
Giambi did. He just wanted to hang out.
Yeah.
He just wanted to hang out. All right. How about Big Poppy or Frank Thomas?
The Big Hurt.
The Big Hurt. One of the best nicknames ever, by the way. The Big Hurt.
Yeah. Wow. I love Frank Thomas.
I know. You ever hear him talk? He's a hell of an analyst.
Oh yeah, he could talk hitting.
Yes,
for years, and yeah, he's awesome. I don't even know, dude.
That's a tough one, right?
I mean, you're forcing me to. I'll stick with Poppy because I'll
go Frank. I'll go Frank.
Yeah,
because I think Frank doesn't get enough love. I got to give Frank some love.
I love that. I had Frank Thomas's Reebok black high top metal spikes when I was a kid because I loved Frank Thomas that much. Yeah, and I played first base, and we looked a lot alike. He's 6'4", and I'm 5'10".
Yeah, you look a lot alike. You were built like him and everything.
Yeah.
One of the best hitting catchers ever versus the best defensive catcher ever. How about Mike Piazza versus Pudge Rodriguez?
This answer might shock you, but I'm going to go
with Piazza?
Pudge.
Oh, okay. I was going to go Pudge too.
I'm going to go Pudge.
I'm going to go Pudge too.
And what's Piazza has the most home runs and as a catcher?
Yeah.
I
look at the position differently.
Well, if I have to, if we're starting a team tomorrow, and catcher's a big deal.
Yes.
Ooh, sorry, Tony. I'm going with Pudge. Yeah.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. How about Coors Kid versus the pure hitter? How about Todd Helton versus Jeff Bagwell?
That's another really good one. I told you earlier that I love Bagwell.
Not another guy doesn't get love is Todd Helton because he played in Coors.
I'm going with Helton.
I love Helton.
Helton was people talk about baseball purists. Like he did so many little things.
Yep.
So well. Todd Helton is I love Todd Helton.
Yeah, me too, man. Yeah. Me too. Definitely. That's gonna be a good one, man. Chipper.
Hold on. I'll pause that for one second.
Yeah.
Todd Helton was
story time.
Was a quarterback with Peyton Manning in Tennessee.
He was a quarterback?
Yeah, he was. If you look up Peyton Manning's freshman year and you look up the quarterback roster, there's like 5 of them. Helton's one of them.
Get out of here, really?
Not making it up.
I gotta watch some highlights, man, and see what Helton did.
Yeah, I don't know if he played or not, but he was one of the 5, and Manning was a freshman during that.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm gonna have to look that up. All right, how about Chipper Jones or our boy Scotty Rowland?
Chipper Jones.
I think Chipper too, man.
Yeah. Didn't we throw batteries at Scott Rowland?
That was JD Drew.
Oh, JD Drew.
We threw batteries at JD Drew.
Yeah, right. Rowland left here and went on to bigger things with St. Louis.
He did.
But he was an excellent. Obviously, he's a Hall of Famer.
He was another dude that he couldn't deal with at Philadelphia.
No, he hated it.
He just couldn't deal with Philadelphia.
Yeah.
If you can't deal with Philadelphia, you're never going to be good.
Well, and here's where Philadelphia,
but it's true.
Here's where Philadelphia and the media was wrong. What they did with him, they expected him to be Mike Schmidt.
Yes, they labeled him right off the bat.
Yeah, and instead, this is where I take like the reporters not truly understanding the value and understanding baseball. They're a little better now, but Scott Rowland was a phenomenal baseball player. Not maybe a 5-tool guy, but he could field, he could hit, a little bit of power, hit for average. I mean, what are you looking for? He's not. You know how many people are Mike Schmidt?
I know.
None.
0.
Yeah, Mike Schmidt.
0. Where's my Mike's? I got my Mike Schmidt around here somewhere. I had to bring that back out. I got some Philly love in here, but yeah, no, you're right, man. You're absolutely right. All right, we're gonna end on a couple here. Got a couple good ones because we haven't mentioned this name yet. And again, he's paired with Manny. Okay, I knew you were gonna be Manny, guys. You see, Manny's in a lot of these. All right, we go with Manny. We go with Gary Sheffield.
Sheffield's another one on the list.
He's on the list.
He is on.
He's on the list.
On the list. San Francisco guy, or no?
Triple Crown.
He came up. He came
close
up
to
with the
Triple
Giants.
Crown. Did Sheffield
or the Padres?
Padres.
I'm going Chef.
Going Chef. I like Chef.
Yeah. We got to give him.
I like Chef
because he was. You talk about Albert Bell. He was one of those type of hitters.
Yes,
he would get in there and shake that bat the way he did, and he was
that wrist speed.
Yeah,
right. The back and forth. Him, Ron Gant. was another guy.
Mm-hmm.
Eric Davis. Eric Davis is a swirl to bat a little bit. He had the quick wrists, man.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of that, how about we're gonna end with an underrated and a banger. We're gonna go underrated. Lance Berkman, Juan Gonzalez.
Oh wow. Lance Berkman probably did more like longevity wise.
Yeah.
But Juan Gonzalez there for a little
Juan
bit.
gone.
Yeah.
Juan gone.
Yeah. I'll take Juan.
I like Juan.
Yeah.
I like Juan.
Yeah.
Now we haven't touched on pitchers, so we're gonna end with this banger right here. And I have a feeling I know we're gonna go because you've mentioned it. Okay, we close this. This is going to be one of the best final cuts right here that we can run. We're going Pedro Martinez or Randy Johnson.
It's a layup for me.
You're a big Randy guy, aren't you? See, I'm a Pedro guy.
Yeah, well, I like Pedro too. I love Pedro, but you know, I discuss things like, okay, give me one game, and it's the last game, and you have choice between these two. Who's your starter? In this case, it's a pitcher. So who's your starter? I'm going Randy.
I don't know, man. I think I might go Pedro.
Yeah,
I do. I don't know, man. He just, oh man, to go in the Bronx with the Who's Your Daddy chance and just maul him up. I don't know, man. I like Pedro.
Yeah, I like Pedro too, but I'm going to go with the big unit. You hear other players talk about Randy, and they're like very intimidated.
No, you're right. No, you're absolutely right. 100%, man. 100%. This was fun, man.
Oh, you did great with that.
This was fun. I said it was going to be, do some little something fun to you, man.
That was awesome.
I had to get, put you on the spot, have some fun. But this has been real, man. This has been real. It's a lot of fun. I hope you have fun.
Oh, absolutely. I could do this every day.
Well, listen, the studio is always open. The topics are just going to continue. I mean, we got a lot of good ones coming up, man. So you might be one of the recurring guests coming on here in this chair because I know you like your notes and your knowledge and
I'm comfortable.
In
this chair.
100%, brother. Yo, as always, thank you, sir.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. We're until next time. Where again. Conversation never dies.